rise and shout. It's time for What's Trending.
You're talking about it, and so are we. It's What's Trending on BYU Sports Nation.
What's Trending presented by Tim Daly Ford, part of the Tim Daly Auto Group, serving Utah since 1968. Dave, it's a fun Friday. It's football eve of sorts on the college front, and we're going to play a little game. We're going to have some fun with our friends at the law offices of Bagley, McCann, and Linton and discuss some stock options as we look at the BYU football personnel and who you need to buy stock in right now, maybe who are some of the off-the-radar guys, among other topics. Okay, so Dave, my first question for you is, as an expert financially and in stock options and certainly in BYU football.
Never been called two of the three, so thank you.
Which player's stock is the highest of any BYU football player coming out of camp?
You know, let's call it Apple stock in Jaren Hall.
Yeah.
And I haven't actually looked at Apple stock lately, but I know the last few years it's been crazy. Everything that Jaren Hall has going for him is positive, and the support around him, and he's healthy. You know, we didn't see him in the bowl game, and he played with those banged up ribs for a good part of the season. Those ribs are healed, and he's full go. He's at the top of the market.
Yeah, and frankly, Apple's set to release a new product early in September, so their stock remains high. That's a good pick. Jaren Hall, I love that comparison, is the Apple stock right now. It's just consistent. It's good. Yeah, it costs a lot, but it's worth it. And so I think I'm with you, and I think it needs to be the BYU quarterback. That's a good sign.
Yeah, if we could have just got into Apple early. We're into Hall early, but this might be his last year, so we just got to ride the market with Jaren Hall.
Yeah, you got to buy high and then hope that it just gets a little bit better, right? And then you make some dividends on that. But we both agree Jaren Hall has the highest stock right now. It'll cost you, but it's worth every penny, we think, right now.
So the next one is, well, okay, so that's the standard up there. Who are you down here buying stock in that you think might rise?
Okay, so I feel like we have a couple of middling stock options, if you will.
Yeah.
And we're kind of in a wait-and-see mode. For me, the guy is Chris Brooks, because we've heard from our friends at Cal, Roxy Bernstein of ESPN. He's a big Cal guy, a Cal grad, and he said, listen, you're getting a really good player, really good pass catcher as a running back. He's physical. He's never had a chance to run behind like a good offensive line. He hasn't been on a great football team. Now he's on what we think is a great top 25 football team. But we're still kind of waiting to see. Well, guess what? I'm taking that leap on Chris Brooks. Like, I'm all in. I am buying right now that middling stock option. I think that's going to rise for sure. Chris Brooks is my guy that I feel like is going to have that significant stock rise in the first few weeks of the season. He's the guy I'm going with. How about you?
He's looked good in camp, and he's ripped and he's fast. We've watched him catch out of the backfield, and why not? I'm going to go with Keanu Hill.
Ooh.
A lot of the attention's on Puka and Gunner, justifiably so.
Okay.
But here comes Hill. He had a decent season last year, made some big plays, showed some tenacity on when to cut and get downfield on a broken play, and when the ball's coming right to him, there's a back shoulder toss. I love the size. I love the pedigree. He's from a football family. His dad caught a million footballs at Texas Tech. His uncle was a star at the Cowboys and the Texas Longhorns. It's in his pedigree. I think while you're worried about Rex, Brooks, Nakua, and Romney, that here comes Keanu Hill in there. I'm buying stock in Hill.
Ooh, I like that pick too. Yeah, Keanu Hill. And like you said, the catches he made, we just showed you a few of those. He made catches at pivotal moments, big plays. The touchdown catch against USC comes to mind as the most recent big catch he made.
And rarely is he double covered because they're too worried about everybody else.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that option. Okay, now our third stock option, the bounce back stock. So you can go with typically a guy that's been hampered by injuries or perhaps was redshirting, just somebody that is kind of off the radar. So your bounce back stock, Dave, who's the guy that you think is going to have a huge bounce back season?
I scoured the roster. And I think it's going to be Jake Eldred.
Ooh, okay.
Now, why the kicker and why Jake Eldred? Well, 2 years ago, he was 13 of 13. Last year, I think, I'm just going off my head, I think it was 9 of 13. But he had back issues, and he doesn't have those anymore. And a healthy Jake Eldred is a perfect Jake Eldred for the most part. Automatic on extra points, and you get on BYU's side of the 50 And, you know, 2 years ago when he was the Lou Groza runner-up, he had 3 kicks of 50 or more, and they could have been longer. These aren't ones that just crawl over the bar. Great leg. His health is everything, and he was good last year. He was great the year before. I think he's the bounce-back stock of when he comes in, that's money.
It's guaranteed money.
Guaranteed money. Guaranteed on your return, at least 3 points.
He does have someone in his kicker's room with the name of Cash Peterman.
Yeah, take the cash and invest in
the kickers.
Jake Eldred.
Okay, my bounce back special is Keenan Peele. Keenan Peele is going to have, for lack of a better number, 1 million tackles this season, it feels like, Dave. He was all over the field early last year.
How about 17 tackles in that Arizona game?
Yes, amazing. And we're going to see more of that from Peele. He's healthy. He's back. We'll see more of those Arizona performances. The performance he had against Utah was really solid, and he was playing well until he got hurt against Arizona State. Keenan Peele is a difference maker for the entire BYU defense. He changes what BYU's defense is as a whole when he is locking up that middle linebacker position. If he stays healthy, Dave, his stock is low right now. He had the significant injury. He's a guy I feel like could rise probably the most. From where he is starting to where he will finish, assuming health, he goes through a full slate. You watch out for Keenan Peele. He will be an NFL draft pick. So not just buying stock for the college football season. I'm buying stock on Keenan to get into the NFL as a draft pick, as long as he can stay healthy. He changes the entire dynamic of that defense, and he allows the other guys around him now to go back into their natural positions. Keenan Peele's my guy.
I'm going to sell a couple of my Eldred shares and take that money and invest in it.
Okay.
So now I got money in both camps. I thought he brought such moxie to the defense, and when he went out, they lost that. They didn't have him for Baylor, and they didn't have him for Boise State during critical times of, can anybody stop these guys? And who was the one guy they missed the most? Number 41.
You want to talk about some areas that BYU's defense really struggled in last year? 3rd and short. They had a terrible time getting off the field on 3rd and 3 or fewer. What do you think would make a difference there? Maybe a star middle linebacker?
Well, think about it. Arizona State, and Utah, they weren't very good on 3rd and short against BYU last year. Then Peele's out, and it's different.
Yes.
Everyone's moving around.
He's the difference maker. So 3rd and short, if you want help there, bring back Keenan Peele. And frankly, he makes the red zone defense a lot better too. And BYU had some issues there as well. So I just really, really think that he's going to have a fantastic bounce back season.
Okay, now let's go with the long shot buy.
Okay.
Now, these are the stocks that no one's thinking about.
All right.
That might, have big payoffs. Who are you going with?
Okay, so in the wide receiver room, we've talked ad nauseum about how many different options Jaren Hall has. Okay, with Puka and Gunner and Keanu Hill. He's the guy that you like as a middling stock guy. I'm going with somebody that I feel like has been consistent, has been there all camp, and he's just been down the depth chart. And so no one's really talking about him. But somebody from the secondary brought him up to me the other day and was like, you watch out. This guy deserves more respect. And it's Braden Cosper. Braden Cosper is my long play in the wide receiver room. We hear about Chase Roberts and Cody Epps. And those guys are awesome too. Braden Cosper has been quietly the most consistent wide receiver in fall camp. Okay? The most consistent. His health is good.
Why didn't we see him last year? Because he got hurt.
He got hurt. Exactly right. Yeah. He got hurt, and then we saw the ascension of Puka and Gunner, and they kind of took over along with Keanu Hill.
Right.
Braden Cosper is going to have a bigger role this year. He's my long shot stock buy. Okay, he's the guy that's just been biding his time. He kind of reminds me of Dax Milne. He's got great hands. His strength is in precision footwork and the route running. He beats you in places that if you don't work as hard as him, he's going to have an advantage there. Like, he just will work harder than you, and that's how he beats you. He's got great hands. Braden Cosper. Who do you got?
No one wants to hear mine, but I'm going to announce it anyway.
Nobody?
Because if it comes to fruition and I cash in on the stock, that means some things that happen that we don't want to see happen. But I'm going to buy my long shot stock in Jacob Conover, the backup quarterback.
Hey, that stock's good next year too, Dave.
It's good?
It's good next year.
Well, I was thinking of, because we all want instant payoff.
Yeah.
Conover has had a good spring, and he's had a good summer, and we've watched him, and he's looked sharp. He's won the number 2 job in fall camp, and Cade Finnegan just a little bit behind, but those two might battle for the starting job next year. But Jaren Hall's got a very physical schedule, and BYU needs him to stay healthy to be successful. But in the event that he's not, Conover is ready to come in and utilize all the tools that will be out there on the field.
Okay.
It's not, oh, Hall's out, it's over, because of my long shot stock.
Okay.
Because Conover can do the job. We just want Jaren Hall to do the job in all 12 games and the bowl game. But, you know, I'm putting stock in Conover just as an emergency thing.
I like it. So let's say maybe there's a few scrapes and bruises, and Jaren's nicked up a little bit, and you need Jacob Conover to come in and take on an East Carolina or a Wyoming or something like that.
He can do that.
Maybe he's the day trading, right? It's the day trading stock option. Whoa, just for the day. Let's go.
But prime